NATO announces it has no plans to deploy troops to Ukraine.
International community calls on Israel and Hamas to agree to a ceasefire.
The Prime Minister directed the strengthening of inspection of livestream sales activities.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I am Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first upload of the show. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg reaffirms that the alliance has no plans to deploy forces to Ukraine despite recent ambiguity from some members.
Today,
in the visit to Finland on June 6, Stoltenberg said that NATO does not have a plan to deploy forces to Ukraine, emphasizing that NATO is only seeking long-term financial commitments to ensure it can support Ukraine for as long as necessary. At the same time, noting the delay in providing military support to Ukraine, the NATO Secretary General called on allies to ensure this does not happen again and that military support for Ukraine needs to be maintained. Previously, in February and May this year, French President Emmanuel Macron had caused concern among many allies when he twice mentioned the possibility of not excluding the option of sending troops to Ukraine to directly fight the Russian military.
Yesterday, June 6th, the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, and several other countries just issued a joint statement calling on Israel and Hamas to accept the proposal previously announced by the U.S. President Joe Biden regarding a permanent ceasefire in Gaza.
Does not understand what is the big deal.
Alongside the mentioned countries, the joint statement also involves Argentina, Austria, Brazil, Bulgaria, Colombia, Denmark, France, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Serbia, Spain, and Thailand. The joint statement emphasizes, at this crucial juncture, we call on the leaders of Israel as well as Hamas to undertake any necessary final compromises to achieve a ceasefire agreement. Earlier, on June 1st, 3 mediation countries, Egypt, Qatar, and the United States, called on Israel and Hamas to sign an agreement based on principles announced by U.S. President Joe Biden, which, according to Biden, were proposed by Israel. These calls come as the 3 mediation countries resume negotiations aimed at reaching a ceasefire agreement and releasing hostages after nearly 8 months of conflict since October 7, 2023.
The Vietnamese Prime Minister has just directed the Ministry of Finance to take the lead and collaborate with relevant ministries and agencies to strengthen the inspection and monitoring of the livestream sales activity.
The Prime Minister has required ministries and local authorities to strengthen state management in the field of e-commerce and digital business. They are to handle acts of smuggling, commercial fraud, selling counterfeit goods, violations of intellectual property rights, and unhealthy competition in e-commerce. The Minister of Finance will take the lead, in coordination with relevant agencies, to strengthen inspection and auditing of live-stream sales activities. In cases where organizations or individuals are found to be selling goods or receiving commissions from sales with signs of legal violations, the authorities will transfer the case to the competent agencies for handling according to regulations.
Upcoming are some updated news.
This morning, the 18th tenure of the GI and Provincial People's Council held the 20th session to consider and approve the proposals and important resolutions submitted by the Provincial People's Committee. The session was chaired by Provincial Party Secretary, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, with the provincial leaders. All the proposed resolutions were passed with a high approval rate at this 20th session. Noteworthy is the resolution approving the plan to reorganize the administrative units at the commune level in Gyi in province in the period of 2023 to 2025, which will result in a reduction of 48 administrative units after the reorganization. The resolution approving the expansion of the administrative boundary and urban space of Vinh City, etc. In the closing remarks, the Provincial Party Secretary, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, requested the Provincial People's Committee, all levels, sectors and localities to focus on comprehensively and resolutely implementing the solutions to ensure the approved resolutions take effect quickly.
An additional 3 banks have significantly increased their deposit interest rates, namely AB Bank, MSB and BAC A Bank, bringing the total number of banks that have raised interest rates since the beginning of June to 9. Previously, around 20 banks had raised interest rates in May, with some credit institutions adjusting rates up 2 to 3 times. According to analysts, deposit growth of individuals and businesses has been low in the first months of the year, while credit growth has recovered, causing many banks to raise mobilization interest rates to ensure balance of capital sources.
The Vietnamese national team had an exciting 3-2 victory over the Philippines in the 5th match of Group F in the 2026 World Cup Asian Qualifiers second round. This important victory helped the Vietnamese national team earn 6 points, placing them in 3rd position in Group F, just 1 point behind their rival Indonesia. The 3-2 victory over the Philippines also marked a favorable start for the Vietnamese team under the leadership of coach Kim Sang-sik. The final round of Group F matches promises to be very exciting but potentially more challenging for the Vietnamese team as they face Iraq, while Indonesia has the advantage of playing against the Philippines.
Following the Prime Minister's directive, the project team is making an all-out effort to complete the 500 kV transmission line's 3rd circuit by June 30th. Over 1,500 highly skilled personnel have been mobilized to support the construction sites. In Nghệ An province, where 2 component projects totaling 99.7 kilometers are underway, the teams are now working at a rapid pace with maximum manpower support to meet the deadline.
In Nghệ An province, 2 component projects of the 500 kV transmission line's 3rd circuit are currently underway: the 500 kV Quang Track Queen Lu project and the 500 kV Queen Lu Tan Hoa project. To date, all 202 foundations have been completed, 68 towers have been erected, 47 towers are under construction, and the remaining are in the material procurement stage. In addition to providing transportation and accommodation support for the 38 reinforcement teams, Nghệ An Power Company has also mobilized nearly 30 personnel from their emergency response team to actively participate in.
All the workers are making their utmost effort, both mentally and physically, to overcome any difficulties and successfully complete the mission assigned by the corporation.
The construction of the 500 kV transmission line's 3rd circuit project across the province has faced many difficulties due to the hot weather conditions, as well as the remote, rugged, and inaccessible forest mountainous terrain in many locations. The logistics support has also encountered many obstacles, making the construction team's work very arduous. Understanding these challenges, many work teams from the power corporations have promptly provided morale support.
We can feel the arduous efforts and struggles of the workers, so we have rolled out various morale-boosting and encouragement programs to provide them the motivation and determination to successfully complete the mission.
With determination, on the steep mountainous roads and along deep ravines, the high-voltage transmission towers for the 500 kV transmission line's 3rd circuit project are gradually taking shape. Once completed, this project will increase the transmission capacity between the central and northern regions from the current 2,200 megawatts to around 5,000 megawatts, and add over 20 billion kilowatt-hours of commercial electricity supply, meeting the growing electricity demand to support economic development.
The last story just ended our program today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and see you later.